All right. Hello and welcome. I'm so excited to welcome you to the space, to the room today. We have something super special for you. We're doing somatic practices. I think that's super powerful. I invite you to just kind of find this space where you can really drop into because we're going through it together. We're going to be dropping into our bodies and really allowing ourselves to have this experience of it. So you may want to get like a mirror, however you feel like to prepare. Go ahead and do that now. Go grab some water. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to share with you what has been coming for me in the last like month or so. And it really has to do with the masculine and feminine and able to full energy of both masculine and feminine within your system, creating this harmonic resonance and foundation for you to support yourself on, to stand on. When you have, I was just doing this earlier, I was sitting in front of the mirror and I was thinking, like, I don't want to be super rich, or I don't want to live in these, right? I don't want to live in an extreme environment. Anybody live extreme. I desire to keep up. And I was thinking about what that actually means. What it means to me is being able to naturally connect both the masculine and parts of yourself. And this is so powerful. Objectively look at your consciousness and see the masculine and the feminine, and it's not about separating it, it's about seeing it as like one cohesive force that's working together, really. So this has kind of been on my mind like a lot, and I started doing work with the masculine and feminine about 3 years now. No, 3 years ago now. And the work really started when I started reading the book New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. And when I was reading that book, it talks a lot about the different polarities. And it was also at the time, it was the first time that I had been working with Hape. And if you don't know, Hape is a sacred snuff, and so the way that you work with it is you work with masculine and the feminine side. If you're a woman, you start with masculine, you're serving yourself, or someone else is serving you. And over the years, I've grown through that practice and through just seeing myself as a masculine and feminine being. I've grown in level of polarity that I can hold, but also in my connection with myself, my connection with the world, in how much I can appreciate the world, even when it's not showing me exactly what I want to see. And so working with the masculine polarities, how to like, okay, we have the roles filled. My masculine is taking care of my feminine is taking care of my masculine, and it's like this dance between the two, and that is what keeps me grounded. That's what allows me to have balance despite the turbulence, despite what's going on in the external. That's what allows me to being calm during the storm. And so I really just wanted to share a few practices with you today. If you're someone who works with plant medicine and you want to work more closely with Rapé or Hape, um, there's a small section inside the membership, but I definitely recommend creating your own membership to the medicine. I've had a lot of experience with people where it's like, but no guidance. Yeah, but if you're not wanting to do that, that's totally fine. There's so many other ways that we can connect with our masculine and feminine. I'm going to give you a basic rundown of like the background knowledge that is needed for um, so the way that I like to look at it, and it's not just cut and dry, and the membership that that's really cut it. It's not that cut and dry, but it kind of helps to think about it. The way that I like to see it is like in my body. So if you don't know this already, your brain is actually on the left side of your body. The brain is actually on the right side of your body. So the feminine is actually the left side, the masculine is actually the right side when it comes to the body. And so I like to look at it like that, kind of like see it like split down the middle, but it's like obviously not that cut and dry. But when we look at it this way, it can kind of help us to understand and get to know these different sides of ourselves. Um, and in order to, know, in order to get to know yourself on a level of like getting to know your masculine and feminine, of uh, being a multidimensional being who has these different aspects of themselves. So the way that I like to look at it is feminine is the left side of the side of your body. And so when I first started working with my masculine and feminine, it was like I just started noticing the way my feminine wanted to do things, like the left side of my body. I started noticing and I started attributing it to the different sides of my body. I would notice like different energies come through the different channels. So that's like one way that you can work with your masculine and feminine and get to know how you operate as a multidimensional being. As another way that I like to do this is just be like always. It's just service of yourself and fairly need to know it'll kind of be shown to you. But if you're wanting to get more specific, like your mom or people close to you, you can see the reflection of your masculine and your feminine people close to you. Um, so like for example, where I'm at in my life right now, the masculine men that I attract are very like they have their shit together, they know what they're doing, they have a plan, they're gonna do it, they're gonna make sure it's done because that's my masculine. And so you can see how the world reflects to you in these different ways, the masculine and feminine, and that'll help you work with your own polarities. Um, and then another way that I like to is simply like meditation with yourself. We're going to do a bit of this today in our somatic practice. There's going to be two parts to a somatic practice. So we're going to do a breathing exercise and so I'm really excited. It's going to be about so yeah, okay. With that, we're gonna on the somatic practice. So if you haven't already, make sure your space is set. If you want to grab some sage, Palo Santo, water, incense, a candle, however you feel. I like to do this as like a ritual with myself, and I was saying in the beginning. Sometimes it's nice to have that experience of um, sometimes it's nice to have that experience of oh, sometimes it's nice to have the experience of intimacy as your and the other thing that I will note is when I first started waking up my feminine polarity after being in my masculine for so long, she was mad. Okay, she was mad as fuck. She had a vengeance for the world. So there was a lot of like screaming into pillows, like sleeping in my car, like air punching. There's this thing called punching. Um, so yeah, I was getting out a lot of anger, a lot of food. So if emotions come up, just let them move through your body somatically. Um, that's the point of this. Is to know like where you're at, and nothing is bad, nothing is wrong. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by moving our eyes, just softening into wherever you're sitting or laying down, softening into that area, allowing yourself to get comfortable. Just start by taking a few deep breaths, audibly exhale. Whether you're laying down or not, I want you to imagine yourself in your bed. If you're tucked in, cozy, maybe it's not your bed, out. You just relax for your muscles stop this, the tendons in your fingers and your toes naturally release, resting. And on each exhale, think a little bit of a body scan. So with your imagination, I want you to place an elevator in your brain. We're going to start at the brain, noticing any sort of sensations that are coming up here. Take a look as we're just noticing, looking at the elevator, what's going on in this internal world of ours. What feels really heavy? What feels out of balance? We're going to take this elevator down from our brainstem into our throat, chest, and our lungs, heart, into our shoulders. Still peeking out the window of this elevator, noticing any monster, any images, feelings, sensations present in that brain space. We're gonna take the elevator all the way down to the root, through the legs, into the feet. Just getting familiar with what's going on and continuing to breathe with it. We're gonna get back on the elevator. We're gonna move up and all the way down, not all the way up. We're gonna notice on our way up what that simple taking the elevator up the leg, to the stomach, into the spleen, into the solar plexus, into the lungs, the heart, the chest, the shoulders, throat, the ears, the eyes, the nose. I want you to just sit here for a moment with this awareness. You can cross your hands, having one on top of the other, or you can hold your hands. Put your hands in some way, creates a sense of unity between two different. Let that awareness that we've just cultivated seep into the awareness, right and left hand touching one another. Two polar opposites coming together into union. What does it feel like to receive? What does it feel like to give? What does it feel like to be seen your emotion? What does it feel like to be happy in your life, balanced in doing, being, and receiving? An exercise. We're going to do this for about 10. The way that this breathing exercise works, that's what we're doing is we're going to take, so we're going to take our, you can put two fingers or one finger here on your third eye. It doesn't really matter, one or two. I like to do one. It makes it more fluid. We're going to connect with the feminine or masculine. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a circle breath with those. So we're going to take our first, we're going to put our hands, we're going to breathe in. Then we're going to take our, and we're going to, after we breathe in, we're going to close this nostril and breathe out of this. And going to be like a circle. I'm going to have that stop in between so that we're distinctifying what's happening. I'm going to allow them to come online, do a breath where we don't stop, you know, sit and then together. So let's first start. We're going to do about 5 minutes of just the circular breath. Out, just space. We're going to breathe in through the left nostril, hold it, stop, and you're just going to keep doing this for about 5 minutes. Yourself, really connect to your mouth. Slow it down. Notice how your stomach is in and out. Around with switching which finger you're holding your nose. Move to the ring finger, middle finger. Being this circular breath. Being noticing any sensations that may be arising. Maybe you feel tired, maybe you feel super connected, maybe you're seeing images of a certain goddess or character in your mind. Just take note of what's coming up for you as you breathe, dropping deeper, deeper, connecting intentionally with your masculine. And as you feel calm, we're going to transition now On our inhale, we hold both nostrils closed for 10 and release. Noticing what that intentional pause does to your flow. Breathe out of your left nostril. You can go ahead and come back to your normal breathing. Recognizing how connected you feel to your breath, how your breath fills every single part of your spirit. It is expressed breath goes up. Noticing how it feels together. What does it feel like to come into union with the breath again? How can we honor the periods of separation from our desires, from loved ones, ourselves? Honor separation while still holding space. And you can come again into events together, whether it be on top of one another. And we're just going to tap into the left side of the body, recognizing love, the nourishment, the love, the safety, honoring feminine. then taking a moment to recognize tenacity, the discernment, the strength, the courage, and honoring both of these parts of ourselves and letting them meet as one palms of our hand. What does that feel like? Does it feel strong? Does it feel supportive? Does it feel like it's comfortable? What story of the masculine and feminine is it? The story of your parents? Is it the story of society? Story of life? Story of not somber? Is it the story of love and joy and prosperity, of equality? And make a choice now in this moment. What story am I choosing to tell from this point forward? What is the story of my masculine and my feminine that I desire to experience? How can I commit myself to that experience more and more? Our next little activity is going to be a qigong exercise. I learned this like last week, and it was so fun for me. We're gonna do it kind of for an excessive amount of time because that's how I found it. Like really, once you do things over and over and over and over again, you kind of like numb yourself out, and then it becomes like, oh, and then you can actually tap into your thoughts, what's going on inside the inner world, which is that qigong. So simple, but so profound. So we're gonna do that exercise now, and you can do this sitting, but I recommend standing up. I think that's so. So the way that this works is the hand position that I just kept doing. Your feminine one, like this. We're gonna hold our hands like this right here. Oh, right. And for the moment, we're just gonna hold this here for like 30 seconds, and then we're gonna start doing some movement. So we'll do that. I want you to get the position first. Just get to know what it feels like to hold that energy there. This is the meeting point of your masculine and your feminine sacral chakra. It's the connection to the void. And so you can learn to sit with and create a relationship with masculine and feminine. Either by doing like left and right, or your foot, um, by body and when you're holding your hands like this, that's it. And flex for women and people, flex your muscles, your I don't know, but flex those muscles. That's going to also. and also to mention your feet are shoulder width. Okay, now we're gonna begin to cycle this energy. So I'm just gonna show you because I don't think my microphone's gonna pick up my words. Now when I'm doing this, I am kind of and you wanna look the direction of whatever your hand is facing. So when we start with this hand on the top, the bottom hand is the hand that goes around right at the head, goes up, and you want this to be firm, and this one is just firm. You're just gonna keep doing this over and over and over again. So just keep repeating this, and you can close your eyes and kind of like go into your own. Make sure you're breathing. Just notice the way that your body feels as you're doing this. Is there any tightness anywhere? Is there any area where you feel like pressure is being released? Do you feel like you're moving energy? Do you feel like there's a conversation going on? Tune into the masculine and feminine of your psyche and where it's at so that you can begin to evolve this conversation, this energetic. to do this for a few more minutes. You're feeling complete. You can go ahead. Women, left hand over right, left, right of your sacral chakra. Bringing both of your feet together. Taking it noticing any energy that noticing how this has moved, how this exercise has moved you, how this transmuting of energies has shifted something inside of you. Slowly coming back into the room, into the space. We're just going to take a few moments here to kind of give some integration tools for how to utilize this in your everyday. Because for me, for a long time, I was like, oh yeah, work on your masculine, work on your feminine, feminine, da da da, and get out of your masculine, that's bad, da da da. What I found is the more that we get into the body with this work of like the masculine and the feminine, the less the logical take over the show and put in characters that you don't really want to there or embodiments of yourself that you don't really fit in. So the way that I like to do this is qigong, tai chi, and also do like yoga, kundalini breathing, touches, um, and if you are someone who someone who like other people all the time, one of the ways that I can recommend I began to I kind of gave them like different personality sets. So like my masculine had like this set of characteristics and my feminine had this set of characteristics. And it was like a movie inside my head. And I would know where I was at, or I would know if I was finding balance within myself, if the conversation between these two different polarities was stable, was nonviolent, was funny, was enjoyable. So learning to have or become aware of the internal dialogue that's going on in your mind, and then understand characteristics or how you see your different aspects of yourself. So, in fact, I will argue. Well, this is actually something that Neville Goddard talks about a lot, but will argue working with yourself in that way and having the discipline to have the conversations that you need slash want to have um, will change your life entirely. Because when you shift the way you're talking to yourself. When you're shifting the way that you're talking to your sister, your brother, your dad, your whatever inside, it naturally shows up and shifts the world. So something that's happened to me at work is I have began attracting actually my level of conversation, understand and communicate how um, are healthy, stable in relationships, right? And this is because of my ability to help stable all of the different parts. I have a that people call getting to know the mother within you, the father within you, the sister within you, the brother within you, the coworker, the whatever label, right? Getting to know that version of you within you, creating that relationship, not whenever that is activated, you already have a relationship. So maybe it's the version. You talk to them, valid, and then it doesn't cause like personal volatility to make this balance because you have that balance of purposes, not focus, and you belong, and that I do. So if you are in the want to show you this margin below, we have some amazing trainings coming soon. I'm working on finishing up It is done and building a legacy right now. I have some videos I need to create for Smart Project, but it is as of right now complete. I just have done those three courses and then creating monthly for the Liquid Golf. We have a monthly mastermind, which has master class. We just didn't agree to create full group and Steve and I had a beautiful you're not inside yet, get inside because it's so I'm sharing with you this end, which is Kevin. This is inside of the membership. We're going to be launching the product slow. I just wanted to show you this entire section, but all about mastering your polarity, getting to know conscious polarity training, getting to know your masculine and feminine. There's a resource guide into as well as I feel and and yeah, there's a lot of content about how to actually use these two practices, and I recommend that you put them into your table. The thing about these practices is that they really work through repetition, especially with not all they really work through repetition. I've been listening some proposals about a month ago, and every few months Friday, It's not the everyday that makes it so powerful, it's the repetition of the same things and doing the same, and I've had a lot of breakthroughs, like, physically with that, so I highly recommend that. This is really well. It's so good. And it's very quickly, so we have this entire, course inside the Florida Public Education about getting to know your own power, energy, origin story, guys, and then we also have, we also have this section called conscious polarity training. So this gives you an intro into polarity, the different kinds of communication styles, how to balance, power of duality, how we can really integrate this into um, every day. So that is spiritual and physical. And then additionally we have this masterclass episode is marrying your inner vision to a lot. It's all about the for different polarities. I want to see you inside. If you want to join us, get into the membership. You can visit us at Apple S.com portal. For an option for you. And I look forward to seeing you on next month's call. So exciting. Thank you for being here. And I love you so much.